This is PodTox Episode 9. We are all the way on Episode 9, people. We've got Marie up top. Hey, I did the right way after flipping my screen.
Yeah.
We've got Boog down here, and we're gonna hear a little bit about his life and hear everything he's gone through. If you don't know his story, y'all are missing out because just I don't know it all. I've been able to kind of run with some of his content for the last few days, and man, it is crazy. So yeah, I think we want to go ahead and start off with we just want to learn about you, man. Where you grew up, what kind of lifestyle were you living? How was your family life? I want to get a little bit of a picture of what you dealt with while you were growing up and what led you here.
Yeah, man. So, you know what, man? Growing up, I grew up all right, man. You know what I mean? Like, just seeing typical inner city, mom on food stamps, Southwest Philly. Um, not the best neighborhood, but at the time, I wouldn't have wanted to grow up in another neighborhood. It was very, like, tight knit, tight knit Italian, Irish, man, it was so segregated when I was growing up that in order to go to my school, my grade school, like you had to be Italian. And if you were Irish, you went to the other Catholic school over here. If you were Polish, you went to the Catholic school over here. You were black, you went to the public school over here. That's just the way it was. That's just the way
Right.
it was. And but yeah, I am from the inner city of Philadelphia, man. I am from, what everybody will run around and came from the trenches. They don't even know what trenches are. You know what I mean? Try growing up in inner city Philly in the 90s. That's the trenches, man.
Yep.
And so, I grew up, my dad, two completely different families. My mom's side was alcoholics. My mom was an alcoholic. Did her best though, did her best, but she wanted to be a friend. You know what I mean? She wanted to be a friend. She wasn't really a mom, so like my house was the hangout house. My house was where you came to drink, where you came to smoke, where you came to bring the girls, where you watched the game. My mom's hanging there with you, smoking joints with you. It was a shit show. My stepdad, full blown alcoholic, cokehead, drunk as a skunk every night, fucking beating the brakes off my mom. So then in return, I'll beat the brakes off of him. And then she gets mad at me. Go figure, right? So that's the household I grew up in with my mom. And I wanted to get out of there as fast as I could. My mom there was no such thing as a leash. Like I got my first tattoo when I was 11, sitting on somebody's front porch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just how shit went down, and, running, I remember being like 11 and, I met this old head black dude from over the bridge and he was paralyzed. He got shot. And I used to push him. I used to push him around in his wheelchair with his gun on my waist, with an 8 ball of coke in my pocket, serving his people, and with the gun, I really thought I was like somebody, but I didn't have, my dad was around. My dad was around, but my dad like tried to buy my love because he wasn't around, like because he was always working, like, you know what I mean? So my dad was an addict. My youngest memory of life, I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I remember waking my dad up and being like, Dad, can we go to Clover and go get Super Mario Brothers 3? It just came out. I saw the commercial, and he must have just went to sleep after being up for like who knows how long because he did meth, and he steals my grandmom's car. We get in it. It's pouring raining out, and I don't know what happened, but no seatbelt, nothing. We hit something, and I fucking Superman to the windshield. But bam! And he almost killed me. And but he got clean. He got clean for me,
Wow.
and stayed clean for the rest of his life. And ended up going on and he was one of the very few men, one of the few people I know in this world. He went and got his teaching degree. At one point he was teaching criminal law at my high school at Thomas Edison, and that's the only reason I got into Edison. I'll touch on that in a second. So at one point he was teaching criminal law while practicing criminal law in the city of Philadelphia, and doing like not psychiatry, psychology, and
Oh,
he had a psychology degree. He was doing something with it. I just don't really remember what. But he was always doing. You see what I'm saying? So he was like, and then on top of it, he was so personable. And this is where I get it from. Like, this is why I'm so personable, and I got like the gift of gab to be able to talk, so to say, because I got this from him. Even doing all that, he would still on the weekends go be a doorman at the Omni Hotel just for the interaction. Like, so he stayed busy. So it was always here, buddy, and he gave me money, and I'm like, yes, I'm out. You know what I mean? Sneaker time, like, you know what I
Yep.
mean? That's what it was for me. Sneaker time. You know what I mean? It wasn't drugs. You know what I mean? It never was. I played basketball. I went to Catholic school. I played basketball. I played basketball and football, but I played basketball. So coming out of grade school, I was offered scholarships all over the state to go play, and I took Roman Catholic. I
mm,
decided that I wanted to go to Roman Catholic and play basketball because they were the number 2 ranked team in the country. Like, not in Philly, not in PA. They were the number 2 ranked high school basketball team in the country, and they had the number 1 ranked basketball player in high school in the country. His name was Eddie Griffin. So that was a no-brainer for me. I want to go win a state championship. I want to go win a national. This has always been my mindset. I've always held myself to a very high standard, and well, I was held to a high standard by my father's side, because like my decision to go to Roman Catholic was the last time I spoke to my grandfather, because he cut me off. Because for like literally 80 years, every every Spina male went to St. Joe's Prep, and and was like a legacy there. Like, you could go in there today, and there's plaques everywhere with, Lou Spina, Frank Spina, Paul Spina, Francis Spina, like, and it was like a legacy. And I was like, no thanks, I'm gonna go to Roman. And this is the story of my life. I always did the other thing.
So you always went against the grain almost.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
went to
that's how I
Roman
was.
just to get thrown out.
did that upset your dad a lot?
What, going to Roman over to Prep? No,
Yeah.
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Nope. Nah, my dad was my right hand man. So that's why what I'm about to say fucked me up even more. So that was my right hand man. So senior year rolls around. I get thrown out of Roman. He gets me in Edison. He's teaching at Edison.
Mhm.
So, I went from literally the number 2 ranked team in the country to high school in Kensington. You know what I mean? So,
Man,
because
that's rough.
yeah.
I know. I know how it is out there. It's different. You're right.
So I go to Edison. I'm the only Italian kid in the whole school. Like, literally, I'm the only Italian kid in the school. It's all Spanish and black,
Hmm.
all Puerto Rican, Dominican. It's Kensington. You know what I mean? So it's literally the high school that all the poppies go to. So I love it. I fall in love with it. They fall in love with me. You know what I mean? Like I was introduced to Kensington, North Philly, and it like unlocked something in me. And I find out about the open air mart. I find out about what Kensington is. And next thing we're selling drugs out of the lunchroom. Crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like, not going. I don't even think for the last. I think like the last 2 years of high school, I didn't go to school on Friday. I just didn't go.
Too
I
busy
just didn't.
making moves.
Too busy doing shit. Yeah, I was too busy doing shit. Basketball. I was still playing, but it wasn't in the forefront like it used to be. You know what I mean? It was more about now having a status. You know, it was more about like very very in my own like ego, very look at me, look what I got, like very flashy, you know, and it was the people I was around though too, like you know, it was definitely it was definitely influenced.
You feel like you got easily influenced by others, like their fashion, what they were wearing, the sneakers, the clothes, the
Then,
drugs, the
yeah,
money,
yes,
everything, the
yes,
girls,
like
it all.
the whole Puerto Rican like culture, look, everything about I fell in love with it. You can't go to Kensington today and be like fuck Boogie. You know what I mean? Like they're not going. You know what I mean? Like then maybe the people that are getting high will be like, yeah, fuck Boogie. You know what I mean? But if you went to like people with a status out there, they'd be like, oh, he's A1, man. Like you might want to watch what you say. But that was then. This
Right.
this is 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm 38 years old. You know, I've been around. You know what I mean? I'm not a young buck. So senior year rolls around. Long story short, I'm fucking bagging up weed in my apartment in South Philly. My dad owned the whole building, and the front floor was like a podiatrist that he rented it out to. The second floor was like a 1 bedroom apartment, and the third floor was another 1 bedroom apartment. So my whole high school, I had my own apartment. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like not paying bills. You know what I mean? Because my dad owned the building. So next thing I know, the fucking sheriffs are kicking in the apartment door and all this shit. Um, Talking about where's the girl at, all this crazy shit. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I turn around, my classmate was hiding in my closet. Mind you, I just told you I was bagging up weed. I was in
Wow.
my room for hours and had no idea anybody was in my room, let alone hiding in the closet. Come to find out, for
Were
like
you
the
under the
last,
influence anything at this time? Like, you were
I didn't
just bagging
smoke
up?
I
Okay.
don't smoke weed. I wasn't smoking weed. I wasn't drinking. No
Okay.
pills. Nothing. I didn't do anything. I didn't do nothing
He was
up
about the
until
money.
it was about money, and I was addicted to clothes, sneakers. Literally, like my boys used to be like, "Take a hit, bro, of weed." I used to be like, "Dog, that might be the dumbest thing that anybody." I used to be like, "I do not understand the point of taking your money that you just earned, that you worked so hard for, and giving it away just to fuck your body up." It didn't make sense. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
was my mindset before addiction, right? Cops kick in the door, not for me bagging up weed, but because my dad was in a relationship with a student for the last 2 years. And by now she was over 18 at the time, but they were already, the parents called and all this you know what I mean? So fucking they locked me and him up, and like I said, I was still balling. Okay, it wasn't in the forefront of my mind, but I was still heavy basketball. So I had a couple Division III scholarships. Little dumb, not dumb, it wasn't dumb. I mean, at the time, I'm like, it's dumb. Looking back now, I would die for the opportunity again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But they dropped all the scholarships because everything, it was in the paper. Because my uncle is a very high profile criminal lawyer. He
Mhm.
defends a lot of the South Philly mafia. So the schools are like, I ain't touching that, because it didn't say I was innocent in the paper. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
said I got locked up with him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It doesn't say, oh, but his mom came and got him 2 hours later. There's no charge. It didn't say that. You know what I mean? So, boom, scholarships are gone, shit like that. So I'm back home, and like I said, I'm still playing basketball. I went to go to school, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't care. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything. I'm not looking at it like, I don't know I just didn't care. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it like she's fucking grown. Like, you know what I mean? She ain't 10. Like, she's fucking 18 years old. She knew what she was doing. Like, you knew what you were doing. These are both fucking idiots for doing it. I'm gonna keep it pushing. Like, that was just my attitude about it. Like, fuck it. And then once I lost my scholarships, it became personal. And then it really became personal. I had a hernia surgery. And so my mom was like, come back to Southwest, heal, then you go back to South Philly. I do it. When I go back to South Philly, the locks are changed. And she answers my door to my apartment,
Wow.
but won't open the door. And like, your dad said, and you gotta call him. I go to call him, he didn't answer. Then I didn't talk to my dad for like 7 years.
Wow.
And in
Wow.
that situation, yeah. So I moved back to Southwest. So that's when I got into. I'm like 18, like 18, 19, and that's when I was introduced to Percocets. So boom, and I loved them. I fell in love with
Hmm.
them, and literally I could fast forward just the next. It's like I said, 6, 7 years. It was just every day. I literally Groundhog Day. Not heroin yet, just the Percocets, OxyContins, Xanax, just whatever. You know what I mean? Still running around, chasing money, chasing girls. But now I'm getting locked up, and doing in and out of jail, dumb shit.
Whenever you first took those and like everything first started, do you think you kept taking them and it did feel good because you had just lost that relationship with your dad and just everything had changed?
I think looking back now, yeah, I think looking back now, that triggered, that set the switch in my addict mode, in my addict, the addict part of my brain, and
Mhm.
said, "Ooh, this is something that you can lean on, that you don't even have to deal with what your dad, what you're going through with your dad." And I never really looked at it like that, Kyle. That was actually, yeah. Now looking back now, I'm really glad you said that, man.
Because you know what, Boogie? It's like you start self
Hmm.
medicating because you're in
Right,
emotional pain, not physical pain, really.
right.
And
Yeah,
we start
man.
taking it for the pain, but then it helps with this pain.
Yep.
So
Right.
then that switch starts.
I didn't think about that, Kyle. Damn, dog. That's fuck. Yeah, man. See, I knew I did this one for a reason, man. Good shit, man.
For sure.
Fucking yeah, man. Good shit. Damn, dog.
People.
So, damn. All right. So, like I said, fast forward 6, 7 years, same shit. One day I go to wake my mom up, and she won't get up, and she had like this like death gargle. You know what I mean? And it was like it was constant. It was like she was snoring, and she was snoring the death gargle, and I knew,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I knew right then and there. I didn't know what happened overnight, but I knew she was dead. I knew it in like inside, So I called 911, and they come, and it's funny. Like, my mom used to carry this little pill bottle around, right? She used to pop pill all day, you know what I mean? A little junk box, you know what I mean? Nothing, when I say like she would have like a Xanax, like a blue, the blue football, and break it in half and take the piece, or
Sure.
have like a Percocet 5 milligram and cut it in half and take it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like take bits and pieces off the corners.
right. But she drank her beer, and again, didn't drink a lot, just drank consistently. It was
Yep.
daily, and she had pancreatitis and all this shit, and that's ultimately what killed her in her sleep. She had a
Mhm.
Wow.
stroke. She had a stroke in her sleep, and her brain bled out. And I found her, and I lost my fucking mind. Man, that was my best friend, my mom. It was everything, and and she used to say to me all the time, like as parents do. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when I'm dead? Like, what are you gonna do when I'm dead? And I used to say to her all the time, probably kill myself. Like, answering it, being very honest. Like, no, I don't know. I don't think I can go on without you. So yeah, I'm gonna go with you, kind of thing. And I never really had the balls to do that. I always looked at it like a coward way out. And even when my mental health's fucked up, like, it's still never been a way. And I didn't mean to disrespect any by saying a coward way out. That's a very dark place to be in. That's just my personal, you know what I'm saying, outlook. You know what I mean? So you can crucify me.
You're good.
For real, that was the first day I picked up H, the day I found my mom. Um, like I said, she used to have a little pill bottle, and I used to always fucking find it and steal a perk and put it back. So she was always hiding it, right? So when I found her, it was just, I knew it's weird, but I knew it was like her last, like, here you go, babe. You know what I mean? As something dumb as, it's a bottle of pills. That was my mom. You know what I mean? That's just her. And I know that was her giving it to me. Like, it was filled with Xannies. Like, I didn't want Xannies. And, but it all played, like, as soon as I walked outside after the ambulance, like, it was so weird how dark energy works as well.
Yeah.
People always say, like, "Oh, it's funny how the universe worked in my favor." The dark side works in your favor, in their favor as well sometimes too. So as soon as I walk outside, my boy, not my boy, but somebody on my street, talking to me, "Oh, what happened?" Da, 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 da. I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm numb. I don't even know. Like, the only thing that's going on in my mind is I need to find like 600 milligrams of Percocet or OxyContin.
Real quick, it's the same thing that you did with the relationship with your father when you lost that. It's
Yep.
that self numbing.
And like as my life went on, that ended up being my go-to.
Yeah.
Like I used to say in rehab all the time. They used to be like, "So what coping skills do you have?" I get high. That's my co. That's what I used to say. I
It's a
don't
lot
even
of our
know.
coping skills.
Right. I don't know what coping skills are. I use. If I'm
Yeah.
happy, I used. If I was mad, I used. If I was whatever, I used. If it was celebration time, I want to use. If somebody
Right.
died, I need to use. If it was always and whatever. So I find her. Now I'm on a 10-year, 12-year suicide mission, unalive mission. Excuse me, TikTok, unalive mission. It, man, I was in a dark spot, man.
Was there anyone that was trying to help you out of that? Was there anyone that was there for you while
I
you were
mean,
going through this?
no. People show up the first 3 days. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm so sorry. Show up to the funeral, make a Facebook post. You know what I mean? And then it's on with their life. You know what I mean? That's how it happened. That's just how it happened in my world. Um, yeah, man. I went on an unalive mission, and the next 12 years were in and out of rehab, in and out of jail, in and out of prison, homeless, literally hour to hour, literally living hour to hour, like fuck day by day. Like,
I have a question
I'm,
real quick. When your
of
mom
course.
passed away, what happened with the house? Like, did you lose your
Oh,
house at
I'm
that
so
point?
glad you touched on that. Because my ADHD, I'll forget
It's okay.
important
I
parts.
just thought it was an important part.
That is an important part because it's an important part of my life, and it goes to show betrayal again. That I've been betrayed over and over and over and over again, and that's why I'm so big on loyalty, because everybody's been unloyal, disloyal. So my mom dies. Like I said, my stepdad, even though he was a piece of shit, he was around me for fucking 20 years every day. I worked with him. He put money in my pocket. You know what I mean? He just upped and left after the funeral, and I never seen him again.
Wow.
Till this day, I haven't talked to him or seen him. And, as much as I didn't want it to hurt, it hurt. Because he would say, like the night of the funeral, he was like, you know, Lou, I know we don't always get along, and I'm so sorry. It's my fault. Blah, 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 blah. Your mom would want us to stick together. We got to stick together. Okay, dog, I'm with it. Like, I'm with it. I'm with it to forgive you and fucking yeah. I don't have nobody. Let's go. And then you up and left. So then, the next 10, 12 years, it's Kensington. It's Kensington and Southwest, bouncing back and forth. What bando I'm staying in. Living that book bag life, walking everywhere with a fucking book bag. You know, got one set of clothes in my book bag, walking in the fucking, pouring rain. It's 20 degrees out. I'm soaked. I'm so fucking soaked from head to my toe that literally my sweatsuit is dripping and my sneakers are making squishy noises inside the store. You know what I mean? And I don't even have anywhere to go to get changed. I don't even have an outfit to get changed into. You know what I mean? And I'm sleeping in the fucking, you know what I mean? I'm sleeping outside on fucking crates with cardboard boxes on top of them, with fucking blankets on top of them, wrapped up fucking 3 layers of clothes, fucking outside of a high school. So I got to make sure I get up at like 5:30 every day, because God forbid one of my friend's kids see me living on this fucking crate next door, but I don't have anywhere else to fucking go, and nobody's checking on me. You know what I mean? Nobody's checking on me. Like, that's just what it is. Like, it's what it's always been. You know what I mean? Nobody checked on me. I always had to get myself out of everything. So fucking boom, in and out of rehab, jail, all that shit. Um, so one time, then I get locked up. Um, I do the house. I get locked up. My grandma gets sick. The house was supposed to go to my mom. My mom dies. So then my grandma tells me, "This is yours." I know it's mine. You know what I mean? It's my home. No matter where I went in the world, where I went in life, if I was clean, shooting dope, whatever, I always had a key to the house in Southwest.
Yeah.
That door was never shut on me. That was always home. And I got locked up, and my aunt got power of attorney and sold the house from under me when I was in jail. So I came out of jail homeless, had nowhere to go, didn't know what to do, never been homeless before. This is the first time I was homeless, didn't know what to do. And it was like Christmas time, and I'm just roaming the streets. And so I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to rehab, just to get off the street. So when I get to rehab, I run into who's now my baby mom. But I know her. Her brother used to be my best friend. She's the biggest narcissist piece of shit, uh, clown motherfucker to ever walk this planet. I don't wish ill upon her. I hope the best for her. I hope she does great in life. Just do it the fuck over there. Don't do it over here near my kids. You don't have rights. She has no rights on my kids. Nothing.
Real quick, I've heard a lot of people talk about this, but uh, I've had so many people say that jail helped them more than a detox facility did. Whenever it comes to being
Uh,
sober, at least. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I personally feel like it's to each his own or
Sure.
something like that. It all depends where your mindset is at the time when you get locked up, or if you go to rehab. It all depends on it. To each his own.
Sure.
That's just my. I think it all depends on just the one the per whoever it is. Two, the circumstances. You know what I mean? Like, for me personally, I never got locked up and then eventually was like, man, I got,
Were
I
you?
got, I got saved, not arrested. You know what
Did
I
you
mean?
ever
Like,
get locked up and get like a decent amount of time where you were so fearful
hmm
and like, dude, I
yeah.
can't do that amount of time in there. So you got.
So the last time I was in there, the last time I was locked up, I voluntarily joined the TC program
Mm.
because they were it was in Bucks County. It was like fraud and bank shit. So like, if they wanted to, the FBI could have got involved. Like, it
Scary.
for yeah, and especially for what I like, it was stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it was so dumb, cashing fake checks. You know what I mean? Like, but it used to work. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
used to work.
got to do what you got to do, right, brother?
Yeah, and I'm not. I'm when I was out there ripping and running, like, I didn't hurt nobody, like, physically. Like, I'm not gonna hurt somebody. I'm not gonna rob somebody, like, strong arm somebody. People got burnt. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what, like, oh, can you get me this? Yeah, I got you. Give me the money, and not come back.
Yep.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, that's happened. You know what I mean? But I've never, like, hurt nobody or, like, physically. You know what I mean? It was always like taken from a store or the bank. You know what I mean? Like there was always shit like that. Um, and also being like quote unquote a bodyguard. All right, for the girls, if you know, you know. I had to do that for like 3 years. You know, literally being a driver and a bodyguard.
That stuff's rough, man.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. You know, it's all, you know, like I said, it's living hour to hour. It's constant stress, constant looking over your shoulder. Am I going to get arrested? I got to make sure I got, you know, it's just that life is, it's
It gets
draining.
old. It gets old after
It's
a while. It's
drain.
no
Yeah,
fun.
man.
No
You know,
fun.
and once it becomes a job, it's not yet. You know what I mean? Like it's not fun. You know, you know, like it's not fun. It became a job.
Yeah.
It became a job that didn't pay well. You know what I mean? And if you don't show up to work, you're sick. You know, like so. I'm running around with her. I get locked up. I was looking at a little bit of time. So I decided to like, you know, voluntarily join a therapeutic community and all that. So I'm in TC like, man, I was in TC like 5 months, and I'm the leader of the pro. Now let me tap in again too. Every time I went to rehab, I'm always like the leader of the unit, the president of the unit. I'm always running group. That's why this is what I want to do. Like I want to
Hmm.
go back and work in a rehab. I'll be a counselor down the road. I would be the best. Listen, I would be the absolute best addictions counselor of all time. I say it all the time. Whatever rehab hires me as a tech right now, they just got the number one draft pick. They just got the number one pick out of the draft. What I bring to the table to help people to help an inpatient detox, you know, rehab, what? To have me every day, have me in person every day working with you running group. I'm gonna have you ready to want to go out there and fucking take over the world. I'm gonna have people so motivated to be like, bro, do you understand this motherfucker was told he wasn't gonna move anything?
It's
Well,
true.
oh wait, I didn't even touch.
We didn't even get there yet,
We'll
brother.
get there.
So
We'll get there. Yep.
so I'm in rehab. I'm in rehab. I mean, I'm in TC. I'm in jail and
Yeah.
all that. Man, I got 5 different certificates, letters from letters from this one, a letter from that one. You know, like the like we her name was Dr. B. I don't remember her real name. We called her Dr. B. She was one of the like counselors and had a letter from her, and getting a letter from her was like, you know what I mean? Like there was like 80
Like
men
you
in the
made it.
unit.
You made
Yeah.
it if you got a
Well,
letter from
they were
her.
saying, they were like, bro, like the dude was like, dog, I've been in TC 10 months and never seen her write a letter for anybody. You know,
Impressive.
and he was like, dog, they're letting you out. Like that letter from Dr. B alone, they're gonna let you out. So lo and behold, when I go to court and I got all these certificates, all that, bam, time served. Gave me a time served with a year probation, but I was being held by Philly, so they transferred me over to Philly. Philly's just just a probation violation because I called a new case in Bucks County. I go in front of my back judge at my Gag 9 hearing. Not even the probation. I didn't even make it to the probation violation hearing. I get in front of I show them all the certificates. They lift the
Sure.
warrant right there. So I'm like, bro, like I got like 9 months under my belt technically because I was in jail. You know what I mean? Like my body didn't have nothing in it for 9 months. I come out, bam, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing meetings. I'm sharing in every meeting. Recovery house, the whole nine. You know, the whole nine, man. And and she's pregnant with Louie, with little Louie at the time,
Sure.
and she's just the worst. And I don't, I'm a grown man. I don't point fingers. I'm not going to say she made me relapse. But she highly influenced my relapse. So I relapse. A couple months go by, Louie's born, and that the moment he was in my arms, I said, Oh wait, a year. I gotta rewind. A year from the day my mom died, my dad died. About 2 weeks after my mom died, my dad reached out to me, sort of, and and we rekindled our relationship, and then for him to die a year later,
Yeah.
from
That
pneumonia of all things.
wow, that's
Um,
traumatic. Wow.
and he was living with me too. Like, I feel like, the universe, I feel like God let us rekindle because he knew, you know what I mean? Like,
So
here,
it's
I'm gonna let you guys get one last year together. You know what I mean? Like I said, he was living with me. So, yeah, and then he passed away. And in between my mom and my dad, there's friends that, very close friends that passed away. None of them, only one of them from a drug overdose. Two were killed. One was a drug overdose, and one was a motorcycle accident.
mm.
So yeah, there's which one. That's how I remember by counting my memorial tattoos. So it's like 4 or 5. Um, then my grandmom died, the one that was riding with me through thick and thin, everything. She, like I said, she got sick. She got sick, and was living with my aunt. And she used to tell me all the time, please don't ever put me in a nursing home. No matter what, just please don't ever put me in a nursing home. When they took her out of Philly, my aunt and uncle, when they took her out of Philly, they killed her. They took her away from her friends. She had more of a social life than all three of us combined. She would be out of the house 8 o'clock in the morning every day, go to the senior center for till noon, 1 o'clock, then go to the casino in Chester, go play the penny slot machines, go down to Atlantic City, play bingo, where she's going to fucking Acme with her girlfriends. Like, she was always doing something. Always doing something. Got on my last fucking nerve. We fought like cats and dogs. Literally fought like cats and dogs. But she never turned her back on me, man.
She was the one person that was always consistently loyal to you throughout your life. And you hold a big thing for loyalty like I do. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I'm loyal to a fault sometimes.
Man, me too. Me too. I'm loyal to a fault. The things that I put on the line, like my life, literally. Like, my loyalty lies deep. I'm from Philly, man. I'm a real. I say it all the time. I'm not one of these fucking TikTok characters. You know what I mean? I don't come up here and put up some fucking facade and act fucking fake and phony. Like, it is what it is. I am who I am, and this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
You don't
I've
have to
been,
filter yourself for
yeah,
anyone. You
yeah,
are who you
and I
are.
don't. Like, the last time I told my story was on uh changing perspectives. Eddie's. When I'm the one that set that off. You know what I mean? I was the first one to start on that John, and I talk like this. You know what I mean? And he tried numerous. Nothing against Eddie. I love him. He tried numerous times to be like, "Yo, Bug," like the cursing. No, well, then get me the fuck off. Get me the fuck off your live. Then I was like, no, this is me. I'm sorry.
I
I
love
speak
that
for.
though.
Yeah,
I love
I'm
you being
sorry. I speak
authentic.
for. Yeah, I speak for the adults in the room. All right, so if I hurt your feelings, put a helmet on. All right, it's going to be a long ride.
You
Okay,
can cuss all
so
the fuck you want in here, man.
yeah, you know what I mean. So all right, so whatever. I'm ripping and running. I'm ripping and running. Abscesses. Shot, all kinds. You name it. I've been sliced. I've been shot. I've had spine surgery. I got fucking rods and screws from the top of my neck to the top of my ass. Like, literally. If you took a, if you got it, I'm gonna get a picture of it. I gotta find it. I gotta like get one. My fucking MRI. It
Yep.
looks
Wow.
like it looks like if you see, you'd be like, bro, like he's literally built different. Like,
Hmm.
literally, like there's metal going all through my body. I am literally built different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in rehab, and by now Louie's with a foster mom. Thanks to her. No thanks to me though. You know what I mean? I was, I was. I was ripping and running. You know what I mean? But I was lied to. The way it happened, I never would have allowed it to happen that way.
Yeah.
And she lied about it and made it look like her mom was coming to get Louis, when really it was DHS coming to get Louis. But I wasn't aware of that, and I took her word for it because I'm thinking that, you know, she's ride or die with me. I'm thinking there's no reason to lie to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here with you every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this thing called life with you. Like,
Yep.
if we're lying to each other and screaming at each other and all, like, this isn't going to work, sister. You know what I mean? Like,
So real quick,
so
was she pregnant at this time? Because I
yes,
know
now
Irish
with
twins.
London.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
we got to put that part in there.
So she's pregnant with London. I tell her I'm going to rehab. You want to stay out here and do your thing? Go ahead. I'm done. You know, like the fact that Louise with a foster mom is making me want to choke you while you're next to me. So I'm going to go in this rehab that's literally right next to me before I kill you. So that's what I did. I checked into rehab, and she went to the one across the street, which was a mommy and me program for
Okay.
pregnant girls.
Hmm.
So a couple months go by, man. You know, a couple months go by. Everybody's fine and dandy. She's over there. I'm over there. Whatever. And then you know, and it's during the pandemic. The pandemic. It was like literally the middle of and it was when the George Floyd stuff happened,
Okay.
God. Okay.
because the rehab I was in was on Broad and Spring Garden, and that's where they would meet every day to start marching.
Okay.
So it was then. So that's when all the PPA money hit, and everybody was scheming and
Yep.
scamming,
I
getting
know so many
thousands
people.
upon thousands of dollars. Well,
Absolutely.
she was one of them, and she left. She left rehab with like 15 grand, you know, got a car, all this dumb shit, and I stayed. And then she was like dropping me off cigarettes, and at this point, cigarettes aren't allowed in Philly rehabs. So like she would be dropping me off cigarettes and white T-shirts, and so one time when she does a drop off, there's a phone in there.
Mm.
So now she's fucking FaceTiming me, you know, 8 o'clock at night. Well, I just got done group, you know what I mean? And she's smoking crack on the
You're
face,
on
like
two
on
different
the
pages. You're living this life, and she's
right.
living over here.
Her number one goal was get me to leave rehab with her, and I wasn't doing it. And then it became too much, and I left. So that night, because now I know when this happened. That night, I missed the vein in my neck with a speedball. And
Wow.
I've missed before. I've missed in my neck before. I've missed everywhere before. Right? Boom. Not thinking nothing of it, going about my shit. Next day, all right, whatever, same old shit, ripping and running, living at a motel, doing the bodyguard thing. That second day, I wake up and I'm like, the fuck? Like moving, like, damn, I must have slept wrong. And which wasn't out of the norm, because I've had surgeries upon surgeries. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So stuff hurt. Stuff hurt every once in a while. You would notice.
So it wasn't a big deal. Whatever. The next day, now like every time I walk, it's hurt. I'm getting sharp pains shooting up my leg. This is hurting. I got a headache. I got a fever. I don't know what the fuck's going on. We now know it was the abscess on my spinal cord, but I couldn't see it. You couldn't see it. It wasn't red. You
Did you
know, it
feel a
wasn't.
lump or anything? Like when you touched, nothing visible?
When I
Wow.
touched it, when I touched the spot, it was
Was it
like
hot?
being electrocuted.
Ooh.
Like literally, if somebody touched it, my whole body would collapse. Like it would immediately. It affected every single nerve in my body,
Wow.
that it took me right to the ground. So now it's like day 4, and I can't move. I can't move. I can't move.
Wow.
I can't move. I wake up. She left already to go get her. She was on she's on methadone. She's shooting trank, smoking crack, the whole, you know what I mean? So she goes to get dosed. I wake up, I can't move. I can move my arm a little bit, enough to get
Wow.
my phone and call her and be like, yo, I don't know what's wrong with me, but something's wrong. Something's really wrong. I can't move. And
Wow.
when I mean, I could move, but if I did, it was that fucking electric. I can't even describe the pain. So the people that were staying next door helped carry me into the car. They came and knocked on the door because they thought somebody was being murdered. They were the words
Wow.
out of the dude's mouth. He said, I thought somebody was being murdered next door. He said, literally, we were coming over to save whoever. He said, we literally thought somebody was being like stabbed to death.
Jesus.
The next shit was like told to me because it's kind of like,
Blurry.
yeah, because
Yeah.
my body was shut down.
Plus, it's
Yeah.
trauma.
My body shut down, and all the nerves were done. Whatever, it was like literally 1,000,001 shot. You know what I mean? Like the spot that it hit was like bro, like he told me like that couldn't happen again if you tried to do it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like it was that bad. You know what I mean? And they rushed me to the hospital, and the next thing I remember is waking up, and it's like 4 or 5 days later, something like that. And
Wow.
my cousin Chris, uh, another one that never turned his back, but never tried to really help either.
Yeah.
And like just stayed away.
Yeah.
You know, help, but did help. You know, once in a blue moon, where like I would have the balls to call him and hit him up and be like, "Hey yo, like I know you're not going to give me money. Like, can you just call and get me a room for the night?" Kind of
Mhm.
thing. You know what I mean? And he would do it, and he would do. You know what I mean? But he wouldn't because of his wife. Like he's got a whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a whole
Boundaries.
life.
He
You know
had
what I mean?
boundaries with you. He tried to set healthy boundaries, but still
Yeah.
keep in contact with you.
Is that why your aunt and uncle weren't like there at all either, or?
So Chris is my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
Um, my mom's side of the family, I never really talked to them. I was always with the Spinas, because the Spinas were the South Philly, you know, every one of them was somebody. My dad, my uncles, my aunt, they were all known in the neighborhood. They all had money, like, so I wanted to be like them. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be like my mom's side. I didn't really know them. I don't know. They're just, I don't know.
Hmm.
My mom was like the black sheep. So like she didn't really deal with too many people on her side of the family. So then I really didn't,
Got it. Got it.
like I know, like today I talked to a couple cousins, like from my mom's side. Chris is still in my life every day. I thank God for Chris. Seriously, like that's my real right hand man. Him and my man Tony, like that I've actually met on TikTok, and he lives like 4 blocks away. We
Wow.
became
Small
bet
world.
we became best fucking friends. We're literally the same exact person, like been through the same shit in life, like both got 2 toddlers. Like it's crazy, like it's crazy. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, and I got too far ahead. I wake up and it's Chris holding my hand next to me, crying, and I knew that very second, whatever the fuck I did to myself was bad,
Hmm.
was very very bad. If he's here crying, I'm in a fucked up spot. That's what I'm thinking in my head. And I go to get up and I can't. And I go to talk to him and I can't talk. I got a ventilator holding my mouth open, breathing for me. I got a trach in my throat. I got a peg tube, feeding tube coming out of my stomach. I got a catheter coming out of my yamin, and I'm paralyzed. I can't talk and I can't move. And I just start crying. And I thank God I started crying because it got Chris's attention, and he went and got the surgeons and shit because I woke up. So the surgeon comes in, and he's telling me, he said, you're really sick. When he came in, he said, he said, good morning, sweetheart. He said, good morning, sweetheart. And he was cool, man. He tatted up, you know what I mean? He was meant to do he was meant to save my life.
Absolutely.
He said, I just got done working, like an 18-hour shift. I just got done, a 6-hour surgery. I'm exhausted. I've been up for fucking 3 days. I'm ready to go home. And here you come in on your deathbed. And nobody here, everybody that was there, doctor-wise, was scared to do the surgery
Yep.
because the abscess was on my spinal cord.
Yep.
Wow.
Not my spine, my spinal cord. You're dealing with a whole nother ball game here. You know what I mean? It's a very, very sketchy. It's like opening up a fucking, like a computer grid board. You know what I mean? Like one of the things in your phone, and like trying to fix it when you don't even know what these things look like. It would be like,
And one wrong move.
is it?
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Like they have to be
That's
very
it.
precise. Very precise.
Literally one wrong touch, move, turn to the left, turn to the right. It's a wrap. So nobody wanted to do it, and he said, "I'm doing it." And he
Thank
turned
God.
right around. Yeah, man, he did the surgery. He saved my life. He said, "I've been here, 20 years, whatever." He said, I've never seen anybody come in so close to death and so sick than you came in. He said, and something told me, because I guess some of them were probably like, just put him in the room and just let
yep.
him go, dog. Like, there's really nothing we can do. Like, he's about to be, once his nervous system shuts off, he's going to be brain dead. Like, and I guess my body was in overdrive trying to fight, and I had a stroke in my cerebellum, on top of pneumonia in my lungs, liver failed, kidneys failed, everything failed, and it was scary hours, man. I woke up fucking paralyzed, and I couldn't talk. So he came in, he told me it was the abscess on the spinal cord. It wasn't from fentanyl. I was shooting crack with lemon juice, and I mixed, and I missed, and it caused the infection. Septic, all that shit. This is
How did you
probably it.
communicate with the doctor? Did you have to write on like a clipboard if you couldn't
I
talk? Like,
couldn't. I couldn't.
oh my God.
I
What
couldn't.
was going through your head once you finally figured out what happened in the situation you were in? What was going through your head whenever it came to like your kids?
When I first woke up and was like that and everything, my first thought was, soon as I'm able to talk, I'm getting my baby mom to come up here and give me a hot shot. Like, I'm not staying like this. Come up and give me a shot to put me out. And she did it. She came up. She came up with a bag. I don't know, I guess she thought I just wanted to get high again. That's not what I asked her to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to bring up three bags for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And she did it, and then I woke up in a different room because when she did it, I guess I overdosed.
Yeah.
My body was already had a bunch of shit in it already, and I tried to, and she helped. She came up and gave it to me, and it almost worked. And I woke up, hysterical crying, and I realized right there in that moment that that I'm here to do something. Like, there's a at the time, I didn't really understand why I'm still here. Nothing was making sense to me. Like, why am I still here? I'm paralyzed. I bring nothing to the table. And after a couple of days, they change your trach and they call it a talking valve.
Yep.
And I was honest with them, man. When they came down, like, bro, what the fuck? And I said, no, bro, what the fuck, you? Like, what do you mean, what the fuck, dog? Like, I don't, like, do you understand? Like, you're not even thinking about, like, what's going on in my head, dog. Like,
Yep.
it's just me. My mom's dead. I found my mom dead. My dad's dead. The only person that had my back, my grandmom, is dead. This bitch just tried to help me kill myself. The
Did
fuck?
they make a rule where no one was allowed to come up and visit you for you to be hospitalized there?
Yep. 1000%.
Yeah.
1000%. To the point where they gave my cousin Chris a hard time when he was trying to bring me up close.
Oh shit.
They
Well,
were
they were
like,
doing
nah,
whatever they
Had to
could to
check it.
protect you at that time because they knew that your mental
exactly.
health was in a very
Was
serious
in a
place.
bad spot.
Absolutely.
So they let me stay, man. They let me stay, and I go to Moss. I go to Moss um, physical rehab.
How
Man,
long
stop.
were you in the hospital first? Like, how long were you in the
I was
actual
in
hospital before
I
you
was in
went
the
to rehab?
ICU. I was in the ICU for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 weeks in the ICU. And the last week they started like sitting me up. You know what I mean? Just sitting me up in my bed. You know, because for the first month I was just, you know what I mean, like laid flat.
And your muscles probably were like atrophy. So it was like you were probably didn't have
It
the
was
strength, correct?
terrible. I lost every ounce of muscle that I had. Thank God I was like 168 pounds when everything, like I said, I just left rehab from
Yeah.
jail. I mean, I was, man, like, I'm only 5'7", you know what I mean? 5'7", 170, you know what I mean? I mean, jacked. So thank God they said it. They said, listen, if you were, 130 pounds when you came in, you would have died.
Wow.
Like, your body wouldn't have been able to handle it. They said, thank God you had all that on you. And because it's like my biggest insecurity, like, and pet peeve, like, it's literally my biggest insecurity, my weight. It's always been my whole life. Like, I wish I didn't care what people think, but I care too much what
Yeah.
people think.
I'm
And,
the
and I
same
don't
way.
and I don't know if it goes back to like my mom and dad that like I constantly have to seek validation. You know what I mean? And like, oh, look what I did. You like that? Oh, cool. Let's talk about it now. Like, I don't know why. It's mental health. I'm still working on myself.
That seems like a big thing with children of alcoholics. Like everybody that we've talked to and a lot of like other random people I've talked to, whenever you are the child of an alcoholic, it's the validation thing is constant. It happens for everybody.
Do you have
Oh,
a mental health diagnosis? Were you ever at any time diagnosed with like bipolar disorder,
yeah,
OCD, stuff like that,
yeah,
depression?
yeah. I've been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, PTSD, ADHD. I was getting meds in the nursing home. You know what I mean? But I'll touch on that. Yeah, I'll touch on that. I
Okay.
was, but when I came home, I literally just stopped taking everything.
Mhm.
Like, and just because I didn't like, they gave me like the punch out shit to bring home.
So you were in the hospital for like 5 weeks. Then you go to the nursing home. You were in there for three
No,
years, correct?
I went from the hospital to the physical rehab,
Right.
Okay.
and I was at Moss, and that, like, the physical rehab was top notch, A1. They're coming to your room, they're checking on your mental health. They want to they're fucking dragging you to therapy, like, and I'm on a stroke and spinal cord injury floor, so there's about 20, 25 patients. Everybody's fucked up. who's paralyzed, who got shot, who's this, who's that. Mine was the worst one because literally it was everything. For the first like 2-3 weeks, I was in a motor chair because I couldn't, you know what I mean? And I had like this little contraction on my hand that I used to, because I can't move my fingers. So I used to have to just push it real as you know, like it had to be so light because there was no strength for nothing. Everything was paralyzed, and I would push it, and that's how I would be able to just go straight. Then I would have to stop and wait and be able to get my hand to turn it around this way to push it right, just so that my chair can turn around like that, just to do it all over again to push it straight so I can go straight. Everything was a task. Everything still is a task because of my hands. I can't put my socks on. I mean, I can't put, let me rephrase that. I can't put my socks on the right way. And my OCD, if my socks are uneven and shit, my whole day's ruined. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, I need help putting my socks on. I need help opening shit. Fucking, everything is a task. Everything is a task. And everything, and I don't know how this phone ain't broke. It's dropped 90 times a day. I drop everything. I'm frustrated all the time. You know what I mean? Like I said, everything's a task. Like I don't look forward to doing anything because everything I have to do is hard.
How do you manage with your kids being so little? Are they in diapers? Like, how do
I
you
just
do that?
I just do it. I find ways to compensate. I just get shit done. I'm not letting it I'm not letting it beat me. You know what I mean? I came too far. And like listen, man, it hurts. I'm hurting every
Yep.
day. My shit hurts every day. Like people don't realize, man.
The
Like
pain you're in.
yeah, and the severity of it. Like I was paralyzed from the neck down, not because my bones were broke, because my nervous system shut down. Like this is a whole nother ball game, and that's why like I take offense when somebody calls me a miracle because let me tell you, I didn't just wake up the next day and was able to
You
walk.
fought. You
That's a
fought.
fucking miracle. You know what I mean? A miracle is if I woke up tomorrow and my hands are working again. That's a miracle. I had to fucking fight every day and still every day have to get up and fight every day just to walk. Just just to pour a glass of milk. Everything is a fight, but I get up, I don't complain, and I just do it.
See, that's the part right there that makes you stand out. So many people would be complaining about, oh, my back hurts and this hurts. And look at how you are truly built different. It's the truth. There's something so different about you.
What was your like thought process whenever everything happened and you decided you were gonna fight?
What a great fucking question, Kyle. So, I'm laying in fucking moss. And I listen, this is one of my favorite stories that I tell, but it gets me really emotional. All right.
Okay.
So if I get a little, you know what I mean? Because so much was going on that helped me at that moment. So I'm in Moss. It's like, week 3, week 4, something like that. I'm watching the basketball playoffs because they're playing in the bubble. So that's all I got. They're playing all day, all night. I'm in heaven watching, and I got basketball all day and night. My mental was so dark. I was still in that wanting to die.
Yep.
Like I felt so helpless, so hopeless. I felt a failure. I'm never gonna, and my baby mom's telling me shit like, that's why you'll never pick up your son again. That's why you're stuck alone in a nursing home. That's why you're in a wheelchair. You're never going to play basketball with your son. Shit like that. So then finally, my mental was like, go fuck yourself, bitch. And I finally got the strength and cut her off. You know what I mean? She'll say she left. That's fine. I'll let her tell it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever fits your narrative is fine. My narrative's winning. So, I'm in a dark mental place, man. I can't stop crying. I feel like a failure. I keep hearing that in my head. You'll never play basketball with your son. You'll never throw a football with your son. You won't be able to run with your son. And these are all things my dad did with me. Like my dad was my basketball coach. People in my real life tell me every day, yo, you need to go coach kids. Like you should go be a basketball coach, football coach for kids. Like, and that's something I'm going to look into. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. I'm a good role model today.
You are.
You know what I mean? Today. So I'm sorry. I see my eight.
It's okay.
I get all over the place.
You're good, man.
I'm laying in that bed, man, and I'm crying. And man, they came in. They gave me an Ativan, like trying to calm me down. Like I was having a mental breakdown. Everything hit me at once. You know, it was like your mom's dead, your dad's dead, your grandmom's dead, you're alone, you're paralyzed. You can't even get high if you want to. Nobody's going to bring it up for you, dickhead. You're stuck like this. So now what are we going to do? We're going to fuck, we're just going to lay here and cry. We're going to lay here, feel bad for ourselves, cry about it. Maybe somebody, you know, once in a while will come up and visit and, you know, maybe, you know, come bring me some cigarettes, you know, talk to me online. But nobody feels, nobody's gonna feel bad. But that's what kicked it in. Wait a minute, I don't want you to feel bad.
Right.
I don't want sympathy. That's ew. Oh, look what he did, man! Take that shit. And I just stopped crying, and it was go time from that moment. From that moment on, I was doing. I'm taking people's physical therapies time because they don't want it. They're depressed. They don't want to get out of. They can't get out of bed. They're sad. I know their feeling. I was just there. I literally had a mental breakdown, and then literally just snapped out of it. You know, and I say in the one video when I'm in that machine's walking for me.
Right.
I'm not moving. That thing's literally moving for me to get your muscles to remember how to move. And I say it in that video, week 1 down, week 2 in. Let's make the impossible possible. I knew it. I knew it then. I didn't believe I could do it. You know, I didn't say, oh man, I could, no. For whatever reason, it was locked in my brain. I am not staying like this. This will not be the end of my fucking story. I am going to shake back from something that 99.9% of the population would not be able to shake back from. And it was go time from there. And I was going hard at the nursing home. I mean, at
Moss.
And then it was time to go, man. You know, and insurance, you know, and they fought for me, man. They tried to get my insurance to keep me there, and
The system failed you,
the
basically.
system absolutely. So then
That's a shame.
they sent me to a nursing home.
I feel like it's a very defining characteristic whenever you can pivot like that and
Yeah, man.
actually work towards something like that. Like that shows the people, that's the difference between the people that are actually successful and make it where they want to be and the people who don't is people who can make that happen. So man, you can do whatever you want.
Listen,
That's
and
crazy.
that's the whole thing, man. Like I scream this built different shit for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, you know, people always say that I'm built different. I could do the bit of it. Let me tell you it. Let me give you a Philly tale, a tale from Philly. You know, it's really built different. You know what I'm saying? But the fucked up thing, and you know, people tell me, man, you're so strong. You're the strongest person I know. You have to be the strongest to get through that. You have to be. But here's the thing. I went through a lot of fucked up shit before that built me for that. You
Yes,
know what
I
I'm saying?
agree. So much trauma that built on top of each other led you to be that strong, basically.
the worst moment of my life, finding my mom dead, actually
Saved you
gave me the strength to be able to overcome being fucking paralyzed.
to get up and
Right.
fight.
Like, literally, like, there's no other way to put it. I was paralyzed, so they send me to this fucking nursing home where it's the complete opposite of where I was just at. They put me in a room, and that's it.
What happened with like your meds and all that at this time? Did they still have you on a high amount of medication? Were you craving things? Like how were you dealing with your addiction side at that point?
It was just over. I don't know another way to put it. Another reason I say
So
I'm
you
built
weren't on
different.
meds? They took you off the
Yeah,
meds?
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I was on I was off like the fentanyl and all that.
Okay.
So I was on subs. Whatever they had for me on depression.
So the Suboxone was helping with your cravings for
Everything. Yeah.
opiates. Good.
With
Okay.
everything. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
man. I am a heavy supporter of MAT.
Heck yeah.
Same
Listen,
here.
I'm a fucking heavy supporter of whatever the fuck you're doing that's better in your life. I don't care. I don't care what it is. If you were homeless shooting dope or whatever, life was ruined. You were at the lowest part of your life you could possibly be in. Whatever you're doing today that you got out of that and you're better in yourself, keep fucking doing it.
I agree.
I
Yep.
don't care. I don't care what it is. I don't care. I don't care if you smoke weed. That's what I do. All right. That's my MAT. All right. So
Same here.
all right. That's what I do. It helps with everything.
Does it help
Literally,
with your pain? Do you feel like it helps with your pain?
it does. It absolutely helps with my pain, but my pain is on a different level. Like, and it sucks because there's, even if they offered me opiates, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I don't personally. I don't want to test the waters. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And now you're a father, you're a single father to
Right.
two
Right.
kids. You need to be responsible. You're putting a roof over their head. You're doing the daily thing. Do your kids, do you have any help with your kids?
Yeah, yeah. I do. I got a roommate who's great, you know. I got a roommate who is absolutely great. She's a nurse,
Oh, that's
uh,
amazing.
from the nursing home.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But she works a lot. She's at work a lot. You know what I mean? So, but she helps me. She literally helps me with everything, man. Like in the morning, make sure like whatever if I got my Gatorade, you know what I mean, just poof, break the seal for me. You know what I mean? Like I can get the cap off, but the seal got to be broke.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't break the seal. I can't get my hands don't close. Like this is closed because like now this is getting contracted now. You know what I mean? This is going to end up being stuck like this. You know what I mean? Because it's just how I use it. I compensate for things.
Is
Just
there
do it.
any way to get that full range, maybe not full range of motion or more motion at all? There's no way.
I don't know. It's
Mhm.
and a surgeon or doctors say the same thing because it's not a broken bone. You know what I mean? It's not. This is the way it was described. This is the way it was explained to me. He was like, "You break your arm, here's a cast. 2 to 3 weeks, you're all right. This is your spinal cord, your nervous system. You're dealing with wires. You're dealing with you're dealing with the circuit board. It's kind of just like, you know, I would say yes to that, Kyle. If I had the proper uh, therapy for the last 3 years, I personally know. I don't think. I know. I'd be 100% back on that court playing basketball right now. If I had the proper help for the last 3 years, but I didn't. And not even did I not have the proper help, but I didn't have any help. I literally did everything on my own. And it started just by doing this, being in a wheelchair and just going, standing up, sitting down. I would literally be in my room watching TV, just standing up and sitting down for hours.
Hmm.
Wow.
The problem with that now is that everything healed wrong. Just like this, ready? So let me show you this scar, right? I had compartment syndrome. I overdosed like that.
Right.
When I woke up, the whole right side of my body was asleep.
Yep.
So I went to the hospital. There was no blood flow for 16 hours. And I almost lost my arm and my leg. That's another
Right.
story I forgot to tell, right? So
Wow.
there's the scar. Hold on. The scar is crazy. Hold on. The light's fucking it up. And see, this is why I'm so self-conscious. Because since my hands don't close, there's no
Don't be
muscle in my.
self-conscious because
Well,
you know what?
stop. I am. I'm just telling you I am, but I'm
I
still
get it.
showing you.
Wow, you've been
Oh,
through a lot. Wow.
damn.
From here all the way up to here.
Holy shit, dude.
Wow, Boog.
So they had to release all of the pressure. I can't remember how it actually worked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they had to do skin graft.
Okay.
The one on my leg took. This one didn't. They wanted to do it again. I told them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing. It's not worth it at that point.
And I let it heal on its own. And it healed tight. That's why this is the tendon right here. That's a tendon right there. That's up like that. Tendon healed tight. So my arm doesn't work properly already. So now, again, because I did everything on my own, everything healed wrong. So like for instance, my legs a lot, I'll notice they'll be in like this. It's
That's
just the
from
way
probably
I'm
sitting in
able
the
to support
chair.
my weight. You know what I mean? Like when I'm picking something up, for instance, let me see what I could pick up to show you, like to compensate for something. All right, ready? We're gonna pick up my ashtray. I got to do everything with my palms and
Oh,
shit.
sure, sure.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I got to pick something
You
up.
have enough. Oh, okay. So see, I thought you had the strength because like whenever you had the smoke and everything. So that's more just pure finger strength and just the way your hand is positioned. That's not even really your fingers actually doing the work.
No, my fingers do absolutely nothing.
So how do you manage your kids being little? Like, can you lift them?
Yes. You
I've
didn't see the
seen,
video?
no,
Yeah.
I have seen, but I'm
Both
wondering,
of
like,
them.
so
Both of
I
them.
know, so what? You scoop them up like this? Like, okay, I saw your videos and I was wondering, wow.
Monster in a
Hey,
good
you
way.
know what though, with your kids,
There we
because I mean, because you won't be able to do quite
go. A
the
lot.
same things, they're gonna learn a shit ton and learn how to be really self-sufficient and take care of a lot of things that a lot of other kids wouldn't
Hmm.
learn because their parents would just do it for them.
And it's funny. Like even now when we're doing something, I'll be like, Louie, come on, man. Daddy's here, and he'll do something and he'll like get something for me. They're still with the foster mom. It is what it is. Um, thank God I have a great relationship with them.
Mm.
Because by paper, she doesn't have to let me see them. She doesn't have to let me pick them up. She don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? But she knows she see my fight the last 3.5 years. I fight every day. I get up every day. Every day is a struggle. But every day I get up. And every day I get dressed. And every day I work out. And every day I talk to somebody. Every day I see my kids. You know what I mean? I'm every day. You know what I mean? This isn't once in a while shit. It's every day. And I just fucking find ways to do it. And it's frustrating. It's overwhelming. Like, financially, I'm fucked. I get $700 a month now because I applied for food stamps. They approved my food stamps for $290, but then took $290 cash out of my monthly check. So what did I sign up for the food stamps for?
Yeah, right.
Jesus, man.
The
Like,
system
like
is
what the fuck?
completely, You know, I feel like the system let you down in so many ways. The anger that you must have for that is what
Yeah,
gets you fighting every day, right?
yeah, it
You
does.
take the anger and you turn it around into a
Into
positive
some,
thing.
yes,
Yeah.
because let me tell you, Marie, you know what? That was one of the best ways. See that, man? I'm so glad I did this with you, man. I'm so selective about this shit. I'm so fucking glad I did this, man. Yous are like in tune with me right now. It's a literal war with myself every day.
A
No, I'm
war
not.
with that person in your head.
I'm built different. I'm not a
You are built
miracle.
different. You're right. I'm sorry. You are built different.
What are your next steps? Like, obviously, you're getting more in tune with the recovery community and trying to
Yeah,
do some things there. Is that the only thing you kind of want to expand, or do you have a whole bunch
no,
in the
and
works?
that's because that's my whole thing, man. Uh, I got too much to give. There's too much for just the recovery community.
You
Sure.
You know
need
what
a
I mean?
movie. You need like a lifetime. You need like a Hulu,
Listen,
a Netflix, or something. I'm telling you.
I know we're running out of time, man. So yeah, I was in a real quick. We'll end it. I was in a nursing home for 3 years. Try to keep me in there forever. Literally, every chance for me to get out, something happened on their part that would make me have to stay. You know, because they get paid.
It's
You know
Right.
what
all
I mean?
about the money.
It's all about the money. You know what I mean? Even to the point where like they wouldn't give me a ride. The facility wouldn't give me a ride to see my doctor so that I could get like my SSI check, right?
Wow.
But when you get your SSI check, they take it and give you $15 a month. So it's like, oh well, you won't give me a ride to get my money, but when I get
But you
my
want it.
money, you take it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I'm very thankful for TikTok, because, I had that mindset. I discovered that there was a recovery community on here, and I said, man, if I might as well start filming what I'm doing, man. And if you go to my page and go all the way down. I know it's a lot, but if you go all the way down to the first video, my first video is viral. Viral enough, you know what I mean? 30,000 views is viral to me. I'm from fucking South Philly. 30,000 people like my shit. Holy shit. You know what I mean? Like that one video that went crazy has got like 60,000 likes. Excuse
Wow.
me? Like, excuse me? Me?
Does it make
60,
you feel good inside? There must
man,
be something that fills
listen.
you up, right?
Ah, it lets me know, and that, the love and support that I get on this app, I wouldn't have been able to get through the 3 years in a nursing home without the people on this app.
The
You
connection,
know,
right? The connection.
and just telling me every day, like, yo, bro, like, you are the man. Keep doing it. Like, we're watching and we're loving it. Keep doing it. And TikTok and everybody and so supportive, just that gave me motivation to keep doing it. To show up for yous. You know what I mean? To show yous that, listen, even if I'm and like, again, if you go to my first video, I'm still paralyzed. This is all documented. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I couldn't walk. My first
Wow.
video, I could only take a couple steps. You know what I mean? And I did this shit with no help, and it sucks. But it listen, man, you got to go through shit. Right? You got to go through shit. That's just the way it is. And unfortunately, the worse shit you go through, the stronger you get from it.
Yep.
That saying, if it didn't kill me, it made me stronger, is very true.
Yep.
Because, the worse the situation you're in, the harder the situation you're in, and if you get out of it, it makes you that much stronger, man.
Are you on any other socials, man? You want to
Yeah,
shout out?
yeah. I'm on Instagram. I'm on
Okay.
Facebook. If you my Instagram is the same as uh my TikTok, Boogie
Okay.
Lucci. Boogie's my real name in real life. It's been a nickname since I was a baby. My real name's Louie. Louis Spina. It don't get more Italian than that. That's my Facebook. If anybody wants to go ahead, Louis, Louie, Spina, SP as in Paul, INA, Louis Spina.
I think we gotta cut it. My wife will get mad because she wants me to mow the yard and everything because I think she
Right.
started, which is probably a hint. So, but yeah, thank you very much for coming on, man. That was a blast, dude. That
Yo, it was dope,
you have a
man. It
great
was dope.
story.
Kyle, I
Thank you,
appreciate
Boogie.
you. Marie, this was all you, man.